and yarn hoarders. I hope all is well with you. My name is Karen. Welcome to Recreational Knitting. This is my little corner of the world where I talk about my yarn love and knitting mediocreness. We currently live in an RV and are traveling the United States and have been since December 2019. And I'll talk a little bit about what I finished, what I'm working on, what I've acquired, and anything else that might come up as far as the RV and health. Last week, I put a little blurb up that I had COVID, and yes, indeedy, I had COVID. I'm feeling much better. Not 100% yet. I'd say I'm about 75, 80% back to energy level. Not running a fever, not really having any symptoms except for the energy issue, which I hear that goes on for a while. So, but my voice is back. I don't have much of a cough every once in a while and some gunk in the head, but it was mild. We've been vaccinated and boosted, so I can't even imagine what that might have been like had we not had all of that done. So, today is, did I tell you this already? It's Friday, June the 16th, 2022, and I'm filming in Wayne County Fairground and RV Park outside of Detroit. The last time I put anything up was from Petoskey, where we took our COVID tests, and since then we've been isolating, and thought it was time for me to come out in the sun. I filmed earlier. The wind was horrendous. You couldn't hear a thing I had to say, so hopefully this one will be a little bit better if the wind has died down considerably. The weather the last couple of days has been horrendous. I'm assuming if you're watching this from the United States, you know what I'm talking about. 90 plus, 97, I think it was here. And today it was a beautiful 78 with a nice breeze. So I got out and I rode bikes and putzed around, did a little knitting, tried to film a podcast a couple times, and here I am. I hope all is well with you. Before I get started into knitting, I just want to, I got to get some things off my chest. I want to thank all of you, first of all, for being here and contributing to this community. I think knitters and crocheters are about the best people in the world. I got so many well wishes and prayers that Luke and I would get better, and we have. So first of all, thank you for all of that. Thank you for being here, subscribing and liking, commenting on the podcast. It's getting a little easier each time I do it. There's nothing more weird, I don't think, than just talking to a camera. And especially if you're exposed in the middle of a campground where there are people that aren't that far away from you, and they're looking at you and saying, what is she doing? That's what's happening right now. I think the last time there was some canoers, kayakers, drunk. Yeah, you just never know what you're going to get. So, again, thanks for being here. I really do appreciate all the comments, subscribing, liking. It helps me out. I'm shocked that it's gotten this much. So, thank you. Those of you that are in the United States probably have been following a few news stories, as I have. The first one being Yellowstone National Park, one of the most beautiful places on earth. I've not been everywhere, but this is really a beautiful park. Massive snow melt and rain have coupled together and made quite a mess of the beautiful national park called Yellowstone. The north end of the park is pretty much devastated. Last year when we were there, the north end road was being worked on, so it really was only one lane in a couple places, not too far from Gardner. And if you're watching this on the news occasionally, that road that we were on is no longer. So it sounds like they're going to be opening the south end of the park maybe this next week. So that's a good thing. There's Yellowstone Lake that is over its banks, but I think that the roads are still open so that they may be able to get services in and out. And by services, I mean road crews, because they're going to need it. It's a vast park, it's beautiful, but it's probably the size of Massachusetts. I probably am exaggerating and lying, but it felt huge when we were there. It really is a week adventure to go to Yellowstone. So, just say a little positive thought for the people of Gardner. From what I understand, they're kind of in a middle of an island, so they're not being able to get in or out. Some people have lost their homes. From what I understand, nobody has lost their life. There's that. But there's an awful lot of work to do. So that's one of my first news stories that I wanted to talk about. The second one is very trivial in the scheme of things, but it's caught my attention. And I've been avoiding even saying this on this podcast. But after this week, I felt like I just couldn't hold back. And I'm talking about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Skip ahead if you don't want to hear about anything about this, because it is really kind of ridiculous. But after a court has gone and a jury has found you that you've defamed the person who sought the suit, wouldn't it make sense to shut your mouth instead of going on the Today Show? I'm like, this whole case has been like mesmerizing to me. I'm a wannabe lawyer, I assume, and this has aspects of crazy, plus the law, plus Hollywood. So you couldn't help but to be a little bit interested, or at least I couldn't. I was glad when it was over, because I had become almost consumed by it. But yeah, what's that about? Comment down there what your thoughts are on Amber Heard going out and her lawyers going out and continuing to defame Johnny Depp. Hello? Do you want to do this again? Hopefully the Depp team will take the high road and just go straight to the court and get an injunction and silence her and be done with it. But to turn on the TV and see her more telling the world that she had a mountain of evidence. Okay, thanks for listening. You've been my therapy session for this week. Yikes. And then talking about therapy, have you been following the House hearings on January 6th? Hoy. Comment below what has been most shocking to you. I'll tell you what's been most shocking to me. The fact that you have a president that's sitting in the White House hearing mobs yelling, "Hang Mike Pence," and saying that would be a good idea. I kind of agree with them. That's the most shocking thing I've heard. So, comment below what you think to be the most shocking thing you heard. Okay, so now on to knitting. I don't have a whole lot of knitting to show you as far as finished objects. But I have a few. COVID brain, COVID fog is real. You can't follow complex directions. You can't do stitch counts. You can't do all the hard things. So this is the first thing. Another washcloth. I send these to my daughter. She loves them. We have many of them in the RV, and she loves them. This size she uses for a dishcloth, and then I make her smaller ones for her face with nicer cotton. This is a thrift store cotton, probably sugar and, was it sugar and cream, peaches and cream, whatever that is. So it counts as finished, right? And last time I think I talked to you about my little project that I'm doing with my triangles that are knitted that I'll be putting on the RV. And this is my second string of these. In your comments below, where do you think I should hang them on the RV? If you're a camper, what do you think? See, this is COVID knitting. Oh, and I've got vegetation on it, and not in a good way. So I made a bunch of those. Yay! So those are in the can. I think I'm probably done making those triangles for a while until I decide exactly how to look and hook up and all that. So, what have I been working on? Well, nothing that you've seen before, I don't think. No. Oh, yes. Yes. I did put a little work into this. This is my rocket tee. The wool comes on cones, as does the silk, but I wound it in a ball because it was easier for me. And I think I had just joined it in the front. This is the front where the V comes in. Haven't done a lot on it. I think, of course, this is all tangled up. What happens to yarn when we sit it down? Does it have a party? Huh? This is where I was before, where this marker is. So I've done, what, maybe 3/4 of an inch. Holding two yarns together is not my favorite thing I've discovered. Maybe it was 2 fingering weights. That's a whole different thing, but 2 lace weights. So that's going to get done by year 2024. I hope it fits me. All right, so that's all you've seen before. I did some new casts on. No, these are my socks that I started at the Chicago White Sox game when we were in Chicago. It was like 1,000,000 degrees below zero, or it felt like it. I worked on these a little bit with COVID. Now I'm going to show you. This is how much I've worked on. But this is, I don't know what I did up here, so it's going to have to come out. COVID head. Oh yeah, it's a real thing. But this is West Yorkshire Spinners sock yarn. lovely. It's hard wearing. I've made socks out of this before. This is only the first one. Got a long way to go. When I'm starting to think again, hopefully that'll work. That is the pattern. Let's see if I can find you a good picture of this. It's a paid pattern it's called the Crunkled Socks, and it's by the Bakery Bears. Let's see if I can find the good picture. This is called Crunkled Socks. They're lovely. I think I will probably just do stockinette because patterns on my feet don't always feel the greatest. So, but they're beautiful socks. It's an easy pattern to remember. Highly recommend. Does require a little bit of thought. And that's in my sock bag. Okay, a couple new casts on. What else? Since I couldn't think too well, I cast on another pair of socks. I've been wanting to make these for a while now. These are called the Magic Heel socks. I think everybody was making these last year. And this is by Judy Jewell of the Autumn Acorn. It's a paid pattern. And in her heel, it's just kind of a ribbing and it stretches out. I wanted to try these just to see how they fit, if it was worth not doing a fitted heel, afterthought, gusset, whatever. I just wanted to try a pair, so I cast them on during my 99-degree fever. Yeah, 99, it was something, so definitely viral. So, they just look like any other sock at this point. But this is, so far, what I've got. This is Vulnese. This is 100% wool. And I think this goes back to the days where you had to get on your computer like at 1 o'clock in the morning and just hit smash until you got something in your cart and then you checked it out. Does anybody remember that? Yeah, I think that this was some of that, and I thought, oh wow, I love that color. It's so October. And it's superwash merino, 100%. So, I cast that on 2 nights ago. Because I couldn't get to anything else. So that's a first cast on. My second cast on, I'm keeping in a Harrisville design bag that I found. I must have ordered something and they sent me that with it. This next item I'll show you is made out of Juniper Moon Farm Patagonia Organic Merino in the sand colorway. It's a sport weight. Let me get one of these. It's very soft, but it's not Malabrigo soft. Okay? Very, very soft, but again, not like you think merino's going to feel. And it looks more rustic, and so therefore I think it feels more rustic. I love this yarn. I've never worked with it before. I've had this in my stash. I'm going to say probably 8-9 months. I ordered it, sweater's worth, and darn if I didn't cast on a sweater this week. And when I go to cast on a sweater, I cast on my crazy raglan sweater. So again, it's just like all my other raglans that I do. It fits me, it feels good. This kind of washes me out, but it's one of the colors that I really, really like. As you know, you can put jewelry on different colors, wear it with different pants. It's very neutral. And I'm got a mess here because I'm this far underneath the armpit. So I think I started casting this on the day after I tested positive for COVID. That was Sunday. I think it was Saturday. And the day after, I was achy and I couldn't think right, and I thought, I can do this. I've made enough of these. So, another new sweater. Just what I need. Another new cast on. But I have to say that it was very comforting. When you don't feel good, you go to chicken soup and a raglan sweater. Now, the day before I tested positive for COVID, I rode my bike. Mine's the little white one. They have e-bikes. They're Rads. If Rad would sponsor me, that'd be great. They're great bikes. We got them when we were in Seattle at best. Anyway, we were about a mile from the Hobby Lobby in Petoskey, Michigan. And I told Luke he was watching some kind of sports ball. And I said, I'm going to ride my bike and I'm going to go up to the Hobby Lobby at the top of the hill. And he said, okay, have fun. Yeah, be careful. Make sure you wear your helmet. So I did. Got up there and I knew it was the Hobby Lobby sale. Now, I've been in a Hobby Lobby twice in my life. And the first time was in Petoskey, Michigan. The second time was in Petoskey, Michigan. Yeah, good figure. The last time I was in Petoskey, I just opened up this Hobby Lobby, and I didn't know what it was. And I was a cross stitcher at the time. I still had pretty good vision. And so I went in and I didn't see anything that I really liked, and nah, you don't need anything. I think I bought maybe some needles and left. Needles, like cross-stitch needles. And so I rode my bike up because I knew I had never been in a Hobby Lobby since, and I knew that they were having their sale, their annual sale, and I'd been seeing it on YouTube. Some people were unboxing, all this, yarn that they had bought on sale, 75% off. I said, well, let me see what they've got. I haven't been in one for 10, 12 years. Let's go back. So, I got some beautiful sock yarn. And this is normally $14.99, which I'm not sure I'd spend that much on it. Hand dyed maybe. This is 400 yards, and it appears to be made in Turkey and hand dyed in India. So, yeah. Politically, I'm not real pleased with that. However, at $3.74, I'm making a pair of Pride socks. Now, my intentions were, when I got home from that bike ride with this new, lovely yarn, I was going to make a lovely pair of Pride socks. Well, the next morning I woke up scratchy throat, and the rest is history. So, what I will do is next year I will get these ready to roll and start working on them. And next next year I'll have a pair of socks for Pride Month. I think this is, you know, a nice fingering weight. It seems to be pretty good. It doesn't say what it's made out of. Oh, yes, it does. I'm sorry. Superwash merino wool. So there we go. I'll be good. I'll be good. Superwash. I was hoping it didn't have alpaca. And this is very, very soft. I was worried it had alpaca in it, then my socks would droop. So, anyway, so that's my one acquisition this week. And I really am very happy with it. I'm not a fan of Hobby Lobby. I don't like their war on women and contraception for their employees. That's my personal bias, and you don't need to agree with it. But I take my money usually where I believe it can do the most good. So, plans. Well, it looks like I've made my plans by all these cast-ons. I was going to make a different pair of socks than I started to make, but this is another pair of socks that I would love to make, and I probably won't start these anytime soon unless I really make a roll of it here with these cast-on that I just did, the Twizzler socks. I have some more Volneys that will self-stripe, and I think that they would look lovely with that. I was going to talk about pros and cons of living in an RV, but I am going to leave that for next time because I already see that I'm at 27 minutes, and I just have a couple things I want to wrap up with, and then I'll leave you with some pictures of places that we've been, since we've only seen the inside of an RV this last week. June 19th is Juneteenth, which is now a national holiday. Juneteenth is the day, June 19th, smushed together, Juneteenth, 1865, where the last slaves in the United States, in Texas, finally found out that they had been free for the past 2 years, year and a half. The Rangers finally made it to the plantations in Texas, and they were free. Didn't necessarily make it easy, but that was the day that they were recognized as free men and free women and free children. So, I'm going to leave you with some places that we've been on this mega trip, not to be confused with a mega pint, with a mega trip around the United States. And we've gone from touring plantations to Memphis, to Little Rock, Arkansas, Central High School, to Brown versus the Board of Education, where desegregation really began, and that was in Kansas. And I'm going to leave you with some pictures and some videos of what we saw and what we experienced. If you are ever in Memphis and decide to get off Main Street, you really must go to the Lorraine Motel and the National Civil Rights Museum. So, comment below anything you'd like to comment on. But try to get out to something this weekend to celebrate Juneteenth. It matters. Thanks for coming by. I hope to see more of you in the future. And knit happy. Bye now.